Hi, my name is Kate McMahon, and thank you for joining us today for What's Happening. Really excited to introduce the guest today that we have from Woods Hole Film Festival. We have Judy Laster. She's the executive director, and we're fortunate enough to have two filmmakers joining us today. We have Adam Mervis and Paul Riccio. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So, Judy, I've had the opportunity in the past to speak to you about the film festival. However, I think this year it's going to be a little bit different for us. Can you talk a little bit about how the film festival is being impacted by the pandemic?
Sure, and thanks for asking. So this year, as everyone knows, in the middle of March, we in Massachusetts and almost everywhere else entered a phase where it was going to be impossible to have in-person large events. And at first we were thought, well, maybe by May we'll know more, and certainly by the end of July we'll be back and the film festival won't be affected. And boy, were we wrong. So it became clear at the beginning of April that we were going to have to either push back the festival, cancel the festival, or figure out how to have the festival in a different way. And working with our colleagues in the film festival world from across the country, we really learned a lot about the options available. And the main option available to us was to create what they call a virtual film festival. And everybody's probably familiar with the term virtual, but may not know what it means in terms of how a film festival will work. So we decided early on that one of the things we were going to do is try and keep the feel and scope of the Woods Hole Film Festival as it has existed in the past, which is always an 8-day event from the last Saturday of July through the first Saturday of August, this year, July 25th through August 1st. And that includes film screenings. We have 187 films this year, music events, workshops, panel discussions, Q&As with the filmmakers, and general opportunities for people to engage with both each other, with the audience, and for the audience to also participate in voting on the films for the Audience Award. So once we decided we were going to do that, we had to figure out, okay, now we want to do this, how do we make it happen? In the middle of March, the beginning of April, there really was no platform that existed in the technical space for us to do this. So we talked to our ticketing company, and we talked to a streaming company, and we said, all right, you guys talk to each other, figure out how to make this work. And they did amazingly. And so for the last 2.5 months, we've been working pretty much day and night to create a virtual festival. So what that means is our 187 films, if you buy a pass, which is what we recommend, for the period of July 25th through August 1st, they will be available on our streaming platform. If you buy a pass, you'll be able to watch a film anytime, in any order, and as many times as you would like during that 8-day period. But in addition, we have a number of live events. And those live events will be presented at a scheduled time, and we are doing them through Zoom, and we'll be live streaming some of the events as well. So we created a schedule that has suggested watch times so that if you want to see The Last Days of Capitalism, for example, we would say, all right, watch it like the period before the live Q&A is going to happen. And that way you'll feel more connected to the whole festival experience as we've had it in the past.
That's a great idea.
But you don't have to. So that's the thing about a pass, which is a brilliant thing, which is, you're in control. You can watch it from your couch. You can watch it outside. It doesn't really matter. And you can watch things in any order. You can vote on them as well. During the festival itself, however, let's just say you're like, oh my gosh, I can only really watch 2 films. I can't buy a pass. Well, during the festival, you can buy a ticket. And it's kind of like an on-demand experience, and you watch that film right then. You have a 48-hour period to finish it, and so there are a number of options available. And we're pretty excited about that, and really thrilled that we had the chance to make this work. Because in the middle of March, we were just about to finalize the selections of the films, and that we had an obligation to these filmmakers who put their trust in us to try and create the best opportunity that we could for them as well.
That's great. And what's really cool with what you just explained to us is that you're keeping all of the activities, not only the ability to to watch the films, but also the Q&As and the workshops and the live music, which is an additional wonderful part of the entire festival.
That is true. And then every morning we're going to do a live from Woods Hole live stream where we'll be outside on the street. And like I said, we're trying to bring as much of Woods Hole to the virtual experience as we possibly can.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So if it's okay, Judy, I'd like to introduce our filmmakers. And if I can, I'd like to introduce Adam Mervis. And Adam is the director and writer of The Last Days of Capitalism. Thanks for being here, Adam.
Thank you for having me.
Great to meet you. Now, Adam, we talked about earlier that this is the New England premiere for your film. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're very excited to be part of Woods Hole. I've heard great things about the festival. My producer has been a couple times, and we're really excited to be a part of it.
That's great. Can you share a little bit with our viewers what it means to have a premiere?
I think, we're all learning kind of what it's going to mean now. I think for a film to premiere, we put so much work, and especially in independent film, sweat and tears, and it's really a leap of faith when you decide to make a little film like this, and to have anyone ask you to premiere it anywhere, let alone a festival as recognized as Woods Hole, is flattering, an honor, and kind of validates you as an artist. And it's kind of gives you the energy to keep going. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. Would you like to share with the viewers at all about the story that you have?
Sure. Our film's called The Last Days of Capitalism. It takes place over 72 hours in a Las Vegas penthouse. It opens with a man and a woman, and what you think is perhaps a love affair that is taking place over the weekend begins to evolve into something else, and you begin to question whether the man is really who he says he is. There seems to be a lot of money floating around. You begin to question if the woman is really who she says she is, and if she's not a con artist here to get the money. And it kind of goes from a love story to a thriller in about an hour and 20 minutes.
That's great. That sounds like a lot of fun to watch.
Thank you.
And we have Paul Riccio, who he actually is the director and co-writer of Give or Take, which is actually based on Cape Cod, isn't it, Paul?
It is. It was shot all in and around Orleans. So we shot in Orleans, Wellfleet, Eastham, Chatham. It was great. What I figured as much, but I didn't really prepare myself, was that April and May on Cape Cod is not exactly July and August on Cape Cod. And we had swimming scenes and beach scenes and things like that. So that was interesting. But we were able to dance around the rain and clouds. And when you watch the movie, everyone looks very warm.
Well, that's good. And we talked a minute ago with Adam about this being a premiere for him, and this is a world premiere for Give or Take, right?
Yeah, it's really exciting, I gotta say, and it's the culmination of a lot of hard work by a lot of people. We were about 95% done with the film in late February, early March, when everything just shut down. Technicolor shut down. the sound editor shut down. So for the past few months, it's been really touch and go as far as getting the film prepared for the festival. Luckily, we were able to sort of do it remotely, so that all worked out. But it's very exciting. Woods Hole is one of those festivals that the reputation precedes it. A lot of important films have screened here, and it's really great company to be keeping. But as I said, I just wish we were all keeping company, together, and having a couple at landfall up there at Woods Hole, as opposed to being all behind our computer screens. But it is what it is, and it's just as much of an honor as being there in person.
That's awesome. Yeah, and we can be hopeful for next year, right? Even though it was great that you all were able to pivot so quickly, Judy, it's amazing.
Pivot is the word of the pandemic, apparently. But our goal is really to support the filmmakers and to keep our community together, because those are the two things that matter to us mostly. The community that we create, and that community is worldwide, because people come to Woods Hole from around the world. But for the filmmakers are from around the world as well. So many filmmakers come here, meet other filmmakers, have an opportunity to feel buoyed by the experience. And really, as Adam said, one of the things we try and do is give people the opportunity to think about keeping this as part of what they do. Making a film is really hard. Really hard. A lot of blood, sweat, tears, and other people's money. And so one of the things that we want to do is make things a little bit easier by giving people the opportunity to have their work seen with other people and by other people. And many films that have come out of the Woods Hole Film Festival, get distributed. Many filmmakers that have been alumni here have gone on to be nominated for many prestigious awards. And so we really hope that we will see many of the filmmakers returning. Next year is our 30th anniversary. So we're already starting to think about what that means and what that will look like. And some of the filmmakers that we probably have this year might not have even been born when the Woods Hole Film Festival started, which is, makes us old.
That's another story altogether, yeah. Right?
Right. So, but the other thing is, when I introduce films at the festival, I always like to say that the festival itself reminds me it's like a Shangri-La moment. All of a sudden, the village opens up with all this creativity and energy and people rushing around and people meeting each other. And we have no rope lines here, meaning that, the person on the street has as much access to the filmmakers as anybody else does. And so it's that Shangri-La experience of being here in the physical space that I think we will all miss, but we are going to try and create that in the virtual space.
Yeah. And the good news that we have here is that people have become acclimated to Zoom and how it works and just being more comfortable with using it.
And then for the filmmakers, as far as thinking about audience reach and and you guys can jump in here, how to get your film out in front of people. We're used to thinking about it from a very different perspective, which is like we do a festival circuit, then we get distribution, and then we do a theatrical release, or it gets picked up for some sort of streaming platform. But everything is different now. And so it also creates a lot of opportunities for people to get much bigger than they might have been able to otherwise more quickly.
That's great. That's a very good point. Very good point. So the festival runs from July 25th to August 1st this year.
Yep.
Same
8 days, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anything else, Paul or Adam, that you would like to add?
Oh, go ahead, Paul.
No, I just, I'm looking forward to it. As Judy was saying, they've done a wonderful job of pivoting, and this is not in lieu of. This is a real film festival. This is a lot of talented people. You'll be able to see a lot of great films. And I'm just looking forward to it. I really am. We're all excited and, looking forward to settling in and seeing some great work from fellow filmmakers.
That's great. Adam, did you have
Yeah.
something?
No, I think that's exactly right. I guess I can hear my producer yelling at me that I should say that we're doing a Q&A on the 25th, I think, for the Last Days of Capitalism. You can find us at lastdaysofcapitalism.com. And we hope to see you there.
That's great. So, Judy, how can our viewers participate?
Viewers can participate by purchasing a pass now on woodsholefilmfestival.org, or buying a ticket or even a pass during the festival, and really supporting us. We are an arts organization, Cape Cod based, but also supporting the filmmakers and having a really cool experience while it's happening. And, it doesn't matter if you're young or old, we can help you with the technology. You can connect to your television or put an outdoor screen in your backyard. You can watch these films with your friends and family. And, so we hope that everyone out there will take the opportunity to support us and support the filmmakers.
That's great. Such a great festival.
Thank you.
This year will be just as great, I'm sure.
29.
And I think we have a Q&A the same night as Adam does. I think ours is at 8 p.m. What time's your Q&A, Adam?
I think we're 8 p.m. also.
All right.
We might be. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Everything is actually in here. Thank you for asking, which is our one sheet. This is also available on the website as a flip book, or if you are in Woods Hole, you can stop by, and we have them all over the village.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And until next time, my name is Kate McMahon with What's Happening. Thank you.